Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this edition of SportsView on nearmedia.tv. Good evening, Joe Waters, and welcome.
Good evening, Pat. How are you?
I'm very well, cold, but I don't mind that. I had the fire on. It's Monday, the 9th of December, my goodness me. And we're coming to the end of the year. But we'll be looking at all the usual sports as we do all the time. Anyway, press the red button on the right hand side to subscribe to our YouTube channel. More than welcome, and we'll be delighted. Um, well, we start off normally with soccer, Joe, and I must say before we cover the soccer, your own ex-club have done extremely well at Grimsby Town. During the week, they had a smashing, I saw the match, 5-2 win over Accrington Stanley. I don't know, did you see that match or not?
I did
And
not. I didn't even know it was on, to be honest.
they played very well. And they had a 3-0 win over the weekend over Morecambe, which
Yeah.
augurs well for them. Then he could, and in the table, just so I can think of, well, in League Two in the table at the moment we have Walsall at 37 points, Port Vale at 35, Doncaster at 33, and Crewe and Grimsby at 31, and Wimbledon and MK Dons at 30. So it's just tight enough, but they're doing very well. They're flying high.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. What did they win? That was their a record 7th win in a row away from home.
yeah. So, and the team to me looked. I didn't look at the personnel. The team to me looked young. They looked fairly young. Anyway, the team.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the field, and it's the way to go, I suppose, as the old cliche goes. But in the Premiership, there's wins for Villa, Brentford, Forest, Bournemouth, Chelsea over the weekend. The Liverpool match was cancelled. Liverpool Everton. But Man United are still having their troubles. I mean, the team in the championship so far, to me, Joe, I know whether you agree or not, would be Nottingham Forest.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
I
Yeah.
mean, really and truly, they're well run, well looked after, and it should be no surprise that they're so high. They're flying high. But I saw the Man United match. My goodness me, um, the problem. Amarin must know by now. He's used nearly all the players in the club, both backs and midfield and forward and all. And I think that I think he's probably as wise as ever after the last 3 or 4 games. Who he pick.
Well, I think the conventional wisdom is that the side that he put out on Saturday is probably his best team, the way he sees it. Um, and again, just I mean,
No,
they're terrible.
they're terrible as right. They were nowhere really.
No, I
I,
mean,
I, I mean, if you were just looking at results, just 3-2.
yeah,
But they were well beaten. Well beaten.
yeah. I mean, they're. I mean, I don't know that they were well beaten, but it's just the mistakes that they make. That I mean, for instance, who puts Lisandro Martinez on Chris Woods for a corner kick? I mean, there's a 6-inch difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how they do that and hope to get away with it, and then how a guy like Dallo, although he's playing well in other areas, gets himself underneath the ball again and misses it, and Martinez is beaten in the air, and then Martinez is on the goal line for the third goal, and he doesn't even attempt to step up and clear it and block it.
It's yeah.
I mean, I really don't know what's going on there. I mean, that whole club at the moment is a catastrophe. I mean, this whole thing with whatever his title was.
The director of football that they poached from Newcastle.
Right. Dan Ashworth. I mean, to fire that guy 5 months into the job because he made a statement to the effect that keeping what's his name, Ten Hag on was not his choice, and Amarin was not his choice. He had Gareth Southgate, I think Gareth Southgate and or Graham Potter in the frame for it. Um, so there's, I mean, there doesn't seem to be any sense of unity at the club. And then
And
do it in the fashion they did right after the game. You know, it's it just I just don't understand it. They're an out and out joke at the minute.
I don't know that club what kind of funds will be available after Christmas for Amarin. I don't know. I mean, I was reading today on one of the websites. Chelsea have spent 1.2 billion on players. 1.2 billion. I mean, most countries would like that to run their health service or something like that. But when you look at it, I mean, although I mean they are playing very well. I think they have the best player in the Premiership at the moment in Palmer.
Yeah, yeah.
He,
He's
he,
how
he
how Man City ever sold him is
oh, it's superb.
absolutely beyond me.
But Joe, when you look at it, would Man City be suited for him?
Well, I mean, look at but I mean, what he's doing at Chelsea is, I mean, what he's doing is unbelievable.
Is
And
yeah.
you know, are you telling me that Guardiola could not fit him into his side? You know,
I don't know. There's a bit of arrogance about Guardiola, as if he can't be told anything, he can't be advised on anything. He knows everything. That's the way he comes across. He can't
yeah,
be asked a question or anything, you know.
yeah, yeah.
I
It's,
mean,
I mean, it's hard because no matter what, no matter who or what you are, um, you're going to hit a rough time in it.
yeah,
Uh,
of course.
Even Sir Alex Ferguson had that happen to him, where they, they were trying to get him to retire, and he lost the plot and all this, and then he comes back and he wins two or three more league titles.
Yeah, yeah. Just for the
So
hell of it, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, what's happened at City is that all their all their good midfield players have all grown old together,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they've got no fresh blood coming in. Um, and I looked at it, I watched it again. You know, Haaland is a goal scorer. That's all he is. He's not a footballer. He's not a guy that thinks the game and is able to do all the things that you would hope from a typical frontman, holding the ball up and bringing people into the game, uh, making
I think you're
time.
right about. I think I agree with you about Haaland, and I think that even at 39 years of age, Cristiano Ronaldo is far better than him.
Yeah, well,
As being an
Cristiano
effective
Ronaldo,
player on the team. Yeah,
yeah, he's certainly a much better footballer than
Haaland.
Haaland is.
Yeah,
But you know, so now you know the supply line has gone. They've got Savino and Doku and Jack Grealish, who are all struggling to one extent or another. And you know, the Gundogan, De Bruyne, and the Silva are struggling to. They're not
yeah,
players that they were before. So
yeah.
there's just a lot of stuff. Kyle Walker seems to have lost his way. He's
Kyle Walker is gone. Is gone as a serious player.
yeah,
He's lost his speed. He's lost his legs.
yeah,
He's beaten very easy. They were flying down and doing a pass him, in the
yeah,
match. So, was it Fulham they were playing? No,
yeah.
no, yeah,
So,
Fulham.
I mean,
They
there's a
were,
significant rebuild to be done there.
oh, there is. And he knows that. I think Guardiola knows that. I mean, De Bruyne is not the player he was either, I
No,
mean, he has a huge amount of soccer played.
yeah,
But despite Liverpool's game being postponed, They're still top of the Premiership on 35 points. Chelsea are in second place at 31. Arsenal are 29. Man City have 27. Forest have 25. Villa have 25. Brighton have 24. And Man U have 19 points. And Liverpool have a game in hand of all of them, you know. And so, I mean, Forest are only 2 points behind Man City, you know.
Yeah,
Arsenal slipped up as well in that they got a draw, just a draw, and they had one goal. They had one goal given to them and then another goal chalked off by VAR. That's Arsenal, I think, you
yeah,
know. But they played well enough, you know. I thought that my team of the weekend was Forest. I think
right. And
they're just a
Brentford had a very good weekend.
they had as well, yeah. But they're not too far behind. I think they're
And
up around
I I watched the Chelsea Spurs match. I mean,
yeah
talk
four
about,
to.
I mean,
So,
it seems to be in total disarray. Tottenham, they're
well, well, Spurs. I was going into Limerick from Shannon, and when I was watching the match, Spurs were 2-0 up, and I said, "Oh God, this is one of the Spurs games. You know the way they can play dynamic football and
right.
overpower a team." I sat into the car and went into Limerick. By the time I got into Limerick, Chelsea were 3-2 ahead.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, look, 3 don't win because they're. I mean, the two penalties they gave up were unbelievable.
Dire,
Uh,
dire.
I mean, just they have a total lack of discipline where on the field.
Yeah, that's true. And it's surprising because he's a decent. He seems to be a decent manager of
But
Spurs, you know.
he's encouraging that. I mean, he's encouraging them to play open football,
Yeah,
and they're and it's backfiring. I mean, they have a great win against City the other week, 4-0. But then they go yesterday, and they look like they'd never seen each other out there before.
yeah. It's a strange one, all right. You know, I don't know what it is. You know, and I mean, over in the championship, we've been keeping an eye on the championship here as well on SportsView. There were wins for in the championship for Leeds, Sunderland, Blackburn, Coventry, Portsmouth, QPR, all won, and the table in the championship. Sheffield United are top at 39. Leeds United have 38 points. Uh, Burnley have 37. Sunderland have 36. Middlesbrough 31. Blackburn 31. Watford 30. And West Brom 29. I tell you, that's a championship worth 39, 38, 37, 36. I mean, that's a superb league to be looking at, you know.
Yes, it is. It is very.
Yeah, yeah, and I love watching it. In League One, just to finish off with League One, um, Wycombe Wanderers and Wrexham are joint top with 40 points. Birmingham have 39. Huddersfield have 35. Stockport County 33. Reading 31. And Bolton 30. So that's top two or top three. That it's fairly even as well in League One. So there you go. Wrexham are holding their own after coming up only last year. So you know, they have a rich vein of form as well. You know, they
Yeah,
have a lot. They have a lot of older players in the squad. Though I noticed myself. I just took a glance down them. You know,
yeah.
a lot of players are in their mid 30s now. Obviously, if they get promoted to the championship, you know, this is where they'd have to. They probably know that themselves. There'd be a big investment required, player-wise, in the club. You know, for if I would say, in my opinion, if they come up to the championship, it'll be a different kettle of fish to what they're playing now. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, of course, during the week, Joe, we'll have the resumption of the European competitions around during the week, and tomorrow night in the European Cup, you have Liverpool away to Girona, you have Celtic away to Zagreb, and Aston Villa away to Red Bull Leipzig. So you have Those three English clubs are away. Wednesday night, then you have Arsenal are at home to Monaco. That'll be a tough match for Arsenal. Monaco are very well organised and they have good form in Europe.
Yeah.
And Juventus are at home to Man City. That's on Wednesday night. On Thursday night, Man United are away to Victoria Pleasant. That's in the Europa Conference. And Spurs are away to Rangers.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that
Yeah.
match. They'll get a nice welcome there anyway.
Oh, and they'll be welcome there, won't they? If they stick to them.
And I must not forget Shamrock Rovers here on Thursday night. They'll be playing Bramama Luka. I think they're a Hungarian team. Now the thing about Shamrock Rovers is they only need one more point to get into the group stages. You know, at the moment they've accumulated almost €5 million. Now that doesn't seem like a lot of money to people in England in the English soccer scene, but in Ireland in the League of Ireland, that's a lot of money for a club like Shamrock Rovers.
Oh
And
yeah.
that to be a huge fill up for them.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, and they're playing at home, so they should get a draw. They should get a result there. We hope. And that's a lot of soccer during the week as well. There'll be little else with the weather-wise here in Ireland. They're only staying by the fire and look at soccer. At least it's on. Now, just as well during the week, or during the weekend, the European Cup in rugby began. During the first games in the European Cup in rugby, and Munster had a very good win on Saturday night at home, 33-7. They beat Stade Francais. Now, if people hadn't seen the match, what I would say is that Stade Francais had two players sent off, red carded. So it was 13 against 15 for a good bit of the match. And in rugby, that's a very tall order.
Oh yeah.
And and I'm not taking away from Munster. Munster were the better team, even when they had 15. And the Stade Francais aren't the power that they were a couple of years back, in my opinion. Now, in that same group, Munster are playing Cast next Friday. And they were beaten as well by Northampton, 38-8. So, there you go. Roland O'Gara's La Rochelle went to England and beat Bath, 24-20 in pouring rain and wind. And Connacht were beaten by Zebra, or Connacht won against Zebra. And Leinster, with Geordie Barrett signing from New Zealand, one of the Barrett brothers, they beat Bristol 35-12. So they had a good start to their European campaign. But it's going to get tougher now on. But to me, I was watching Bordeaux, was it? Bordeaux, yes, with Dupont, the player of the year. Oh my goodness me. They beat Ulster, I didn't write down the score, but just 61-21. I mean, uh, um, I was watching some of that match, but they were just superb. Now, if you had to go to the bookies after one game, you'd put your house in them. But rugby isn't from week to week. The dynamic will be different. But they looked very good. They looked very good. But I'm not saying they'll win out the whole thing, but they'll be one of the favourites to win it. I know they were playing at home, but put up 61 points is a big. It's a big score in rugby.
It is.
And they have huge men in the pack. They're huge. It's only when you see the referee who's 5'10" standing beside the pack on the field, and you see this, how you would warn them or anything, I don't know. It looked funny to me anyway, to see them. But that's the rugby roundup. Formula One came to an end as well, Joe, this week. And They had the final race, and the only thing to be decided at the race was Verstappen had already won the drivers' championship. It was just the constructors side had to be decided, and who won that? It was McLaren won that, and they won, I think, something like 174 million euro or something like that for the constructors' prize. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
that's a lot of dash, a lot of dash. You know,
It is.
Mac- McLaren won it. Believe it or not, their final tally of points was 666. I hope you're not superstitious over that. They edged out Ferrari by just 14 points. Ferrari were runners up with 652 and Red Bull at 589. Verstappen won the drivers with 437. Lando Norris at 374 and Charles Leclerc 336. He'll be joined, of course, next year in Ferrari by Lewis Hamilton. But now on there's the next. We're going to give viewers on SportsView an exclusive tonight to follow. In Formula One next year, there's a young driver from Brazil who won the Formula Two, and he's been catapulted straight into Formula One as a driver with Sauber. Gabriel Bartoletto. Gabriel Bartoletto. He's 20 years of age, but oh my God, he's in the same mold as Ayrton Senna. Fearless, fantastic and exciting. I'll be looking forward to watching him next year anyway. It'll be something to follow, you know. We'll adopt him as a SportsView driver in Formula One next year now. Just send him an email and let him know. We can't put our logo on the car. It costs about 20 million. It's too much. But anyway, that's just nice to see something like that happening in Formula One, you know. You might take it up a bit. Anyway. And I suppose, this is the time of the year when people have a discussion about rugby or soccer. I just have a clip here, Joe, for Derwin sent it to me during the week about the difference between soccer and rugby.
I
Difference
love
between
that.
for people now who don't know the difference between soccer and rugby, there might be some people, all right.
To give an example of the difference between football and my sport, rugby, I will have to take you back to the World Cup in France in 1998. England against Argentina, a match made famous for two reasons. Michael Owen's wonder goal and David Beckham being sent off. And why was he sent off? For a vicious, vicious tackle. For those of you who didn't see it or don't remember it, I will try and paint a picture. Diego Simeone was the recipient of David Beckham's foul play. He tripped him up. The poor lad fell over, mud on his shorts, one of his socks rolled down, and his Alice band fell out of his hair. It was horrific. The crowd was in a state of shock. The press destroyed Beckham for the next few years. The referee's reaction, no hesitation. Beckham, red card, you're off. The very next day, the England rugby team played against South Africa at Ellis Park in Johannesburg. The England hooker, Richard Cockerell, a man voted most likely to marry outside his own species, punched his opposite number, James Dalton, in the face and broke his nose. Blood everywhere. Excellent. Dalton didn't fall over, didn't cry, didn't run to the referee. He just twatted him back. Broke his nose. The crowd loved it. The press described it as a minor altercation. The referee's reaction, gentlemen, shake hands. That was it. 2 grievous bodily harms, and you get a personal introduction. It's just a different class.
You remember Richard Cockerell?
Yeah.
What I mean? I mean, that sums it up completely.
Well, it
You know?
does, doesn't it? Right there. I mean, that's the that's the whole thing with it.
Yeah, it is. It is, and as we said, I mean, VAR came to the rescue of Arsenal over the weekend. I know we must win, and when I saw the VAR interjection into the match. It was for the Arsenal goal, the equaliser. I thought the Arsenal player, first of all, when I looked at it, was offside, and when they lined it up first in the camera, it looked as if he was offside, but they said that VAR gave the goal to Arsenal stand, and that's what made it 1-1. But Arsenal are not playing well. They're not playing well, you know. They, they, they,
No,
they,
it's not. They're having a bit of, and you know, really, Fulham have been a bogey team for Arsenal the last couple of years.
yeah.
So,
They're-
so that was another one. So, you know, you sometimes you kind of look at it sometimes, is that a point gained or is it a point lost? Or 2 points lost in that situation. But at least gaining 1 point on Liverpool uh, is somewhat of a bonus. And the thing is that games are going to start catching up to Liverpool here pretty soon if this keeps happening. They've got the cups coming, the FA Cup coming up, and what have you.
yeah.
So it's really interesting to watch it and see it, how it's all going to turn out.
Fulham are another one of those teams who are solid, what I call a solid, well organised team.
Well, they
They're,
are.
they're,
They
yeah,
are. Fulham can get results against the best teams, but can slip up against
yeah.
some of the lower teams. But they're going for Europe themselves. So they have a lot to play for, and plus, what they had 3 or 4 ex-Arsenal guys in their team at the weekend. So a lot of incentive there for the Fulham lads. But
You heard about the fan that saved up the Everton fan that saved up all his money
yeah,
to make the trip to England to see the Everton Liverpool match, and 'twas cancelled, as we know. But
yeah,
Seamus Coleman got in contact with him and invited him today, now Monday, today, all day today, over to the training ground, etc., and organised to meet players and all, which I thought was a very a fabulous touch,
yeah.
from Seamus. But apparently he's done that kind of thing a few times as well, with different cases, down through the years. I suppose it's nice to see that as well.
Well,
There's a one.
he's a good guy.
Yes, yeah. There's one. There's one Premiership match going on tonight as we're on the air. It's West Ham and Wolves, and it's 0-0 at the moment. There's 10 minutes to go to half time, so it's 0-0.
Yeah. What's
So
that? The sack derby match? Because
huh?
if them loses, they're going to be out of a job.
Well, both managers are under pressure now.
They're
I mean, the long term for Man United, I don't know. I mean, I think Amarin is on a fool. Amarin is a young man. He's only in his middle 40s, the manager of Manchester United.
right.
He's not long after giving up, stopping playing. I'm saying he still plays soccer now, but he's a fit man. But I think that I think the team and the club are still in a dilemma, in serious trouble, and I think there's a complete and utter overhaul of that team needed and required. Not singling out different individuals, but there's a I can't see them bringing in 7 or 8 players in the after Christmas.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know where the money is going to come from for it. And it's going to take.
But, but who are they going to get?
Well, I mean, the thing is that the name Manchester United will draw players anyway. So I think that they'd be able to get players, but the problem is that it's going to be a slow process.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, if Mo Salah is available, he'd be a good fit for Man United.
Yeah, he would, but the problem there again is you're going the wrong way with it. You know, you're bringing in old guys to solve a problem
Yeah,
that
that's true.
you need young guys to do. And I mean, the team needs, uh, I mean, it needs to be a team that's going to be in its mid 20s. Um, so they're
Yeah.
still going to get into their peak at 27 to
A,
30.
a player like Palmer.
Well, I mean, but they're not going to get him now.
Oh, well, no, no, it did. Well, it did.
That one's bolted.
No, no, it did.
I suppose one of the ones that you look at. I mean, I think that they still own Jadon Sancho, don't they?
You know, yeah.
He's only on loan at Chelsea. Um, I don't know whether they've agreed a fee with him or not, but a guy like that might be something that um, you would look at. But we talked about this before. We talked about it
We did. We did.
during the League Cup final last year when Liverpool beat Chelsea, and we were talking about the Chelsea youngsters and what have you. I mean,
Yeah.
look where they are now. Chelsea have a midweek team, and they have a Saturday weekend team that they kind of swap around. So they've spent their money, and they're starting to see the benefit of that now. So they're going to be ones that if they don't run Liverpool down this year, then it's going to be a good one next year. I think. They're still all getting better. They're going to improve. Um,
Of course, if Liverpool go on to win the league, they're league champions, that in itself will be an attractive proposition for many, many players as well who are available to, available to sign. And so there'll be that extra pressure on Man United to go into the same pool again and look around for players. I don't know. I don't know. There's a wider question here that's very rarely discussed in the media, and that is most of these clubs like Man United, Man City, they all have academies, local
yeah.
academies for developing local talent. What are they doing?
Well, you've already seen that one of the products of their academy, Cole Palmer, gone to Chelsea.
Yeah.
They've got Rico Lewis that played it the weekend. They've got another young guy at City that had been in, Oscar Bob, but he's been injured, so he hasn't been playing. But they have guys coming through the academy, from the academy.
Yeah.
The question is how many of them are going to come. You talk about Liverpool, and here's a thought for people. In the long term here, if and I'm reading in the paper that Liverpool have already offered contracts to Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Right now, those guys are going to be on big money,
Yeah.
and if they're going to be on big money on a 2 or 3 year contract, then I would imagine they're going to be on 3-year contracts, at least 2-year contracts. Then that's going to impact who they can bring in because they've already got a bump in their salary. Or if it's not in their salary, it's in their bonus system.
There's a signing on thing, and there's all bits and pieces. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk, anyway,
Yeah.
has more or less decided that he's going to finish his career in Liverpool anyway.
Right. So I mean that's fine, but
he was a fantastic signing for Liverpool. There's other.
Yeah.
I remember when he was playing with Southampton. That's how he was just immense with Southampton. They're just fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
And
didn't he go from Celtic to Southampton?
true, that's true.
Yeah.
And you can be not lucky, but if you're you're a good player. That's it.
Yeah.
And
he is a good player, but again, like I said, the problem with having experienced players around the place is that they're earning big money, and they're keeping young players out of the team. So,
So you look at Man United, they signed Johnny Evans. I'm not picking out Johnny Evans because of his age. I'm just saying he's 36 or 7, must he? 30 whatever he
yeah,
is.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I mean that's well, that just shows you the difference between the two clubs, then, doesn't it?
yeah,
You
that's
know,
true. That's true, yeah.
I mean, United signed a young centre back, but he got injured as soon as they signed him.
Yeah.
He played yesterday. I can't think of his name right now, but he's a young player that's an investment for the future.
He looked good.
Yeah, so one if they can get
I can understand why Amarin played Harry Maguire with him.
yeah,
You know, Maguire, I think Maguire is much better than what the press give him credit for. I think he's a very good player myself. That's me. You know,
yeah,
he'd be in my team every week. That's only my opinion. You know, I
yeah.
think he's a very calm player. You know, he's
He,
well used. Yeah,
the problem is the way that United are playing now with a back three. He's
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
quick to playing that.
No, he's not. No.
He needs to play in a back four or a back five, however they're doing it. Um, I don't, I don't see him making making any inroads into the team
Yeah,
unless
not.
it changes drastically. I think that the three guys that he's got now that he played at the weekend are going to be the three defenders that he hangs his hat on for the season and see if he can make that work.
Well, I mean, I think it's. I don't know what to say because the last three teams of Man United that Amarin picked, uh, he's obviously, to my untrained eye, giving as many players as are being paid by the club time on the field to prove
Right?
themselves. You know,
Yeah.
I think that message has gone out loud and clear to them. Now they are playing with a lot more energy, but I mean, surely. I mean, I think Bruno Fernandes is a very good player. I think he'll stay in the club, you know, if they can keep him, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but then again, on the other hand, Bruno Fernandes will be looking to his own future as well. You see, you know,
Oh, yeah. He will. He will.
he
But
you know he might decide I want to be out of here. You know, I want to be
yeah.
out of here. How many managers does Bruno Fernandes has? Four or something? Three or four?
Who signed him?
I don't know. It's three or four managers under him.
I'm
There's
trying to.
three anyway. There's three managers anyway.
I'm trying to think who signed him. Was it Mourinho that signed him?
He was there for Solskjaer, wasn't he? And he was there for Ten Hag, and he's there for Amarin. Who was before Solskjaer?
So was he there for Solskjaer? Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it Solskjaer that signed him?
I don't know. I can't remember that. But I mean, he's on his third or fourth manager. I mean, really, I mean, that's uh, that's not good either. You know, that's
Well,
not good.
to be honest, that's not his fault.
No, no, no.
That's somebody else's fault for the other lack of quality that they've brought in. But
Yeah.
it's
Um,
it's going to be interesting to see about this Manuel Ugarte to see
yeah.
how it turns out. I mean, they've spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
yeah,
That's true as well. There are a few to come back, as we say, but we wish them well.
yeah,
SportsView is a program here every Monday night on learnmedia.tv. All the information is there for you at the bottom of the screen, and press the red button on the right hand side to subscribe to our channel. We had a few golf tournaments that is winding down for the year, and the Nedbank Challenge used to be a big, very big tournament one time in South Africa, and the American won it, Julianus Veerman, -5, 70, 71, 73, and 69. Decent enough scoring. $1 million he won, over $1 million, $1,240,000 he won for his weekend. Over in the United States, you had what we call the Hero Challenge. Scotty Scheffler won that. Wait for it. Sorry, Darwin and dear. At -25.
Must have been played in the pitch and putt course.
Yeah, he had 67, 64, 69, and 63. So Scotty Scheffler, needless to say, they were speculating in the golf channel over the weekend that you had complete dominance of world golf between 99 and 2009 by Tiger Woods. Almost every tournament he entered, he was either first, second, or third, you know. And Scheffler, Scotty Scheffler, is well, he's the golfer of the year. There's no doubt about that. You know, he's just. When I saw his name on the sheet on Thursday, and I looked down the rest of the sheet, no, and they had decent Zoma and they had Justin Thomas. He had decent golfers against him. But I said, if Scheffler, he's just one, and he's only 28 years of age. You know, they were saying as well. So he's at least another 10 years in the top for all the other golfers to take out. But he's superb golfer. He won $1 million as well, Scotty. So a nice Christmas bonus, you know.
Yeah.
There you go. And the tennis world are looking forward to the first Grand Slam of the year, believe it or not, which is the Australian Open. And Novak Djokovic has entered the Australian Open. He's won it 10 times already, and he has a new coach in Andy Murray. For people who don't know that, and that'll be the first big challenge for both of them. Also, one of my favorite tennis players is making his comeback as well in the Australian is Nick Kyrgios. As you know, he's been injured, Nick Kyrgios, and he's playing in the Brisbane International as well as Djokovic. So that'll be interesting to see when they meet. Anyway, but tennis is in serious trouble as well at the moment. I was reading an awful lot of stuff. Both of the best players in tennis at the moment have failed dope tests. Iga Swiatek of Poland and Sinner failed dope tests twice. And at the end of the year, the awards are given out in all sports, but in the tennis awards, Yannick Sinner, if you just took his tennis performance, which is what he does, and his wins and all of that, he's not nominated for any award, even though he's the number one player and he had the best form and all that. His coach isn't nominated for Coach of the Year either. So the tennis world is speaking in a different way about these players, you know. So they haven't acknowledged in public that they made a complete pig's ear of those two cases, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not a good look for the sport. It's not a good look, you know. I don't know what's going to happen in the end, you know. We don't know, you know. That case is still going on. It hasn't still been resolved regarding Sinner's case. So it's going on since 5, 6, 7 months, you know. They've left it go on too long. It's like the soccer case in England against Man City. They've let it go on too long. People are probably after forgetting what are they inquiring into them about, you know, at this stage. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Why they can't resolve these things with all the money that's swirling around the place, you know. That referee that we were talking about a couple of weeks back has lost his job at PGOL, that soccer body. You know, the guy that was that was slagging off Klopp.
Yeah.
And a few more things. And I think that on the face of it, I don't want to say what I think because there's an appeal pending. But if people can read about the details themselves, but I think that what he said about Klopp was bad enough, but that wouldn't be a sacking offence. It's the actions that he was photographed doing, you know, for the want of a better thing.
No, again, I have to, you know, first of all, I think the guy is entitled to his opinion.
Yes.
And
yeah, you should.
If in fact Jurgen Klopp has been a jerk to him and that's his opinion of him, he's perfectly entitled to that.
Absolutely.
There's nowhere else in this world that you're going to lose your job for your opinion on something. That's
except you work for the BBC.
yeah. Well, then there you go. Yeah.
What about poor old Greg? Anyway, we won't go there.
So you have that one. Then the other thing that you have here is that how all of a sudden does this other photograph come out right after the video of him giving an opinion to a friend of his?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that these things can be doctored.
Well, of course they can, yeah.
So, and we all know there's enough people out there that would do it just for the sake of it. And so, to me, unless they've got absolute proof that is, you should not be guilty of something just in the common opinion of people.
Well, I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you there.
You did something wrong.
Particularly with the advent of AI, you know,
Yes.
you can be your image can be used to say something inflammatory and put up on
Right.
social media, and you won't even know about it till you get a phone call, you know,
Right.
or something.
That's exactly right. So to me, unless there is something out there that is irrefutable, then I don't take that at the value of it. I think it's somebody that's loading on afterwards, and if it's true, then I hold my hand up and say I was wrong.
Yeah, but as you said, people should not lose their job because of an opinion.
Right.
Which is happening too often altogether, you know, too often, you know.
Too many people, you know. The beauty of all sports is that it's they're games of opinion, right?
Yeah.
What I think, and who I might think is a very good player, you might have no time for them whatsoever because they're not your kind of player.
That's true, and the same with a referee. A referee has a job to do. Everybody looking at soccer, nearly everybody, and in the crowd at the game, are aware of the rules in a general way. They're aware of the rules of soccer. But every one of us, if you and I were asked to interpret a rule, we'd both have two different opinions of how you interpret a particular rule. And the same goes for the ref.
Right.
The ref has to make a decision instantly.
Right.
Whereas we're looking back about 20 replays of it.
And
you know?
That's the reality of it right there. You know,
Yeah.
We've all got the beauty of seeing it over and over again.
Yeah, the ref sees it once.
You know, I mean, it's a little bit like the red card for the kid from Man City yesterday. I mean, Caicedo, he never touched Caicedo, and Caicedo went over the top of him, and he should have been gone. And then on the second one, he does it, and it's like ridiculous. And they can't get involved in that. I mean, that was the most dangerous tackle I have seen in a long while. That could have broke his leg.
Exactly. Any tackle over the ball, over the ball, to my book, is intentional.
Yes.
And if there's intent there, it's a red card.
Yes, it is. You know, I mean, it just blew me away that had happened, and he's allowed to get away with it. But Caicedo does this a lot. I mean, he is a dirty player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In a lot, he's late a lot, and he's a nasty piece of work.
Should every team have one of those on their team?
Well, you know, everyone's got an enforcer, right?
Yeah.
And again, like we say, it's a matter of opinion. If he's on your team, then you think he's a great player. If you're the other team, you think he's the biggest you know what in the world. You know.
There was a player playing yesterday. I know what game it was, and I thought of you at the time was a young player, Yates. I wonder is he anything to your man Ron Yates?
Oh,
You know, I just saw his name in the back of his jersey on one of the matches I was flicking around.
that in the Ipswich match? Is
Was
it
it was the,
Forest?
no? It was in the championship. I think I saw it.
Okay.
I must look him up anyway. You know, uh, but I was thinking of Ron Yates. You know,
Yeah.
would he have a son? Would he have a son playing soccer? I don't know. Would that be true or not? You know.
Yeah. Probably be a grandson by now.
But true, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ryan Yates is his name. Sorry.
That's right, Ryan Yates. Yeah.
Ryan Yates, he was born in 1997. He's playing with who? Forest, yeah. That's where
Or
I saw him.
isn't he the
Yeah,
team captain at Forest?
yeah. Ryan Yates. I'm just looking it up here, Joe. Yeah, Ryan Yates. He's yeah, he joined Forest at the start of 2000 to 17 um, midfielder. You know,
I think he's the captain there.
huh?
I think he's the team captain at Forest.
Yeah, he's God, he caught my eye yesterday. I must say, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There's very little about him. There's very little about him about his personal life, you know.
Yeah.
What was the player I'm thinking of? Ron, is it?
Sorry.
The older Yates, you see, Ron Yates, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Yates, yeah. Oh yeah, he died this year.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. I we're talking about him, you know. He died this year. Yeah. He was a good. God, he had a good. Oh yeah, he died from Alzheimer's, you know.
Yeah.
That's an absolute. Oh, I don't know what to say about that disease. I watched my mother die. It was just shocking, you know.
Horrible.
Just find the vein if I get it. I said to my sons, find
Yeah.
the vein if I get it, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, we'll. I did the match tonight. There's a match at halftime now between West Ham and Wolves, and it's 0-0. It's the last Premiership match of the weekend. We look forward to the European action during the week. Tomorrow night, you have Liverpool, Celtic, and Villa are all in action tomorrow night against Girona, Zagreb, and Leipzig in that order as well. So it's something to look forward to tomorrow night. Well, Joe, it's the end of another night. So until we meet again next Monday night, Toga Bogey, as they say, but Toge. Good luck, Joe.
You were swearing at me there, or what was going
Yeah, I know, yeah. Toga Bogey means take it easy,
Yeah.
but take it. But take it.
on?
Take care.
Uh,
Bye bye.